Welcome to another episode of our webinar. Now, this one is very, very exciting because today we have our first guest of 2024, a brilliant, brilliant person by the name of Huda Booley, who's from Cape Town. Now, I'm going to read out her bio to you shortly. But before that, I just want to explain to you why we are doing this. Now, the main reason that we are bringing these guests, and Huda is the first of many guests that you're going to encounter in this webinar for the rest of this year, is this, that our aim at IT Varsity is not to just give you one certificate and send you off on your way. Our aim at IT Varsity, and the very reason, like I keep saying to you guys, the very reason that I founded this institute was to take you guys from zero into an actual job in the development world. And as such, we are going to give you all the training and mentorship. Now, if you've seen the TikTok video where I mentioned my LAMP framework, the LAMP framework, it's got nothing to do with the coding LAMP framework. This is my own LAMP framework that I set up for IT Varsity. It's learning, action, mentorship, and personal growth. So there's a focus on all four aspects here. And us bringing guests who are veterans in industry. These are not lecturers. These are not people who who are cut off from the world. These are soldiers from the trenches that we've taken out from their busy schedules so that you can interact with them. You can ask them questions. You can take them as your mentors. And if they are willing to share their contact details, you can keep in touch with them after the webinar is over. But also, the time when you are looking for a job position, these are your networks. These are the type of people that you would typically reach out to. So without any further delay, today is not about me, it's about Huda. I'm going to read out Huda's bio, and then I will bring her on, and we'll commence with question and answers. So there will be a discussion between myself and Huda. I've anticipated many of your questions, so I will ask her questions. But in the interim, please feel free to drop your questions into the chat. But rest assured, after my conversation with Huda, you will be able to ask her questions to your heart's content. Okay, let's get down to Huda. So, ladies and gentlemen, meet Huda, a dynamic database administrator whose journey into the world of IT is as inspiring as it is impressive. With a background in marketing, Huda initially embarked on her professional career in a completely different field. However, fueled by an insatiable curiosity and a drive for self-improvement, she took it upon herself to delve into the realm of information technology. I'm loving this. Just one paragraph, and it already is so intuitive. But continuing, Huda taught herself the intricacies of IT, leveraging online resources, courses, and the guidance of supportive mentors. Starting from the ground up as network support, she quickly showcased her aptitude for the field, earning recognition for her hard work and dedication. Throughout her career, Huda has been a staunch advocate for women in technology. Just like me, recognizing the need for greater representation and support, she initiated a Women in Tech program within her workplace, providing a platform for women to network, learn, and thrive in the male-dominated industry. Furthermore, Huda's passion for mentorship led her to establish a mentorship program aimed at guiding aspiring IT professionals, especially women, in navigating their careers and overcoming challenges. Through her leadership and guidance, she has empowered numerous individuals to achieve their full potential in the tech sector. Today, Huda stands out as a respected database administrator, renowned for her expertise, leadership, and commitment to fostering inclusivity and growth within the tech industry. Her journey serves as a testament to the power of perseverance, continuous learning, and the invaluable support of mentors along the way. So that was Huda's very, very impressive bio. So Huda, thanks for joining us today, and welcome. You can see that we've got quite a turnout. We've actually got about close on to 250 students for this year currently, and this is only a small subset of them. The rest of them will watch the video after it's been uploaded on YouTube. But anyways, thanks for taking out your time and for being here with us.
Thank you for that introduction, Bilal. And hello, assalamu alaikum to everyone who's listening. I was listening in and thinking, who is he speaking about? Is that actually me? Like, you don't think the things that you've achieved are impressive. You do what you can. So yeah, thank you for that wonderful introduction. Should I be on video, Bilal, or should that be off?
It's up to you. Whatever you are comfortable with. We would prefer video, but
Okay,
if
can you see me? So you can see me? Okay.
we can see you and hear
Okay.
you loud and clear. So Huda, let's jump right into it.
Mm.
You are one of the most inspiring people that I've met, right? You, like you say, you came from a completely different field, and now you are database administrator at no less a company than Takealot, which is one of the biggest online company, probably the biggest online company in South Africa. Tell us in a nutshell, tell us about that journey, because my students here are at the start of that journey, and many of them, they are from different age groups. Now, as much as we might take for granted that they are all just school leavers, I mean, we've got people that are in their 30s and 40s here. Now, tell us about your journey and how it's been, and and what they can expect in a similar journey.
Okay. So for me, the journey started, well, growing up in apartheid South Africa. We didn't have much options the way you guys have now. There was no internet at the time. Going to a career center and being told you should become a secretary or a teacher because you're a female was quite a common thing. So I studied marketing at CPUT because why? Marketing sounded amazing. I thought, this sounds great. Landed my first job in marketing and it was not great. And then at the time I realized, there has to be more. I then had friends in the IT department. And I was like, I was so amazed. Like, what is this? What is this world of information technology that I was not exposed to? I then offered to work. So after my day job, I offered to work in the evenings, and I used to man the help desk just to be able to get experience in that realm. And they then allowed me to do whatever online courses was available. And that's how my love for IT started. I started working part-time, helping out as much as I can and learning as much as I can, until a job opened up in a network center, basic network monitoring at the first internet company in South Africa. It was called Yebonet at the time, owned by Vodacom. And in my first experience at Yebonet, I was so overwhelmed. I met these amazing engineers from all over the world, and I had no idea what they were talking about. I was so scared. But I befriended, I found myself a mentor, Patrick Brastovic, from Slovakia. And through this person's guidance and patience, I then, learned and developed and grew all the time. There was never a dull moment in the job where I could say like, oh, now I'm bored now. There is still so much to learn. So from Patrick, it was one mentor to the next. My next mentor was Dave Banks, who then, that's how I got into the database space, because there was an availability like, okay, who wants to learn databases? And I'm like, I'll do it. No idea. I had no idea what I was getting myself into. But through their guidance and, the resources that became available over the years, it became, my absolute passion. So that's a bit of how I got, into databases.
So you did basically what I believe in. Even if you have no idea what to do, just raise your hand and then get the job and figure things out.
Yeah.
Now, I'm interested to know, how did you land that first job with Yebonet? Because that's a common question that my students ask me. How do we land that first job?
I think I always feel like, okay, you know what, maybe I was lucky. but luck isn't enough. I think that through the hard work that I showed them, because by then I'd only been working at a call center in an insurance company, but also at the IT department at night. So I'd been working there for a few months, and I heard that my colleague had applied for a job with Siemens doing network support for Ubernet. So I thought, okay, I'm going to apply as well, not knowing at all, what I'm getting myself into. And I just took the chance. I thought there was no way in hell I would get this job. But I thought,
Mm.
you know what? I'm going to try anyway. So I tried, and I think through them seeing, look at how hard she's working. She's literally going after her normal day job and doing this because she's so passionate about it. The guy gave me a chance. He's like, okay. I had the interview, it was not even 15, 20 minutes, and he says, okay, you'll start next week or whenever it was. I was totally shocked. I was dumbfounded, but I actually really had to put myself out there.
That is phenomenal. I think I'm learning two things from there, and I hope that my students' ears are peaked at this point. Number one, you didn't really overthink the matter. You just applied, right? Not thinking you're gonna get the job. And the fact is that you took that first step. It's like Sun Tzu says, the journey of 1,000 miles starts with that one step. And the third thing is the hard work and dedication that you are prepared to put in. Now, the trouble is most young people these days will passively maybe put a post on LinkedIn or send their CVs to one, two places and then just leave it at that. Or they might think, well, no, this is such a big company. There's no way they'll hire me, so they just step back. But you went against that grain. Against the odds, you just put out that application, and lo and behold, I don't think it was luck. I don't think it was chance. I think it was the fact that you sent that message to the universe that I'm ready for this, and so the opportunity presented itself, and you seized it. So what I want to know next is, and this is important to me because as you can see from many of the names here, we are also very big proponents of women getting into tech careers, and we've got lots of female students here. This is a male-dominated field. Tech is a male-dominated field. Coding, software development, app development, typically traditionally male-dominated. How did you find your transition, and did you notice any change between when you started and now? Is there a more positive attitude towards women in the workplace as far as the tech sector goes?
Okay. When I started in the engineering department, that was at the time the company went from Yebonet, Vodacom, Moldenijn, Tiskeli, all the same space, but just taken over. So it was Tiskeli at the time. I was one female, and there were about 20 male engineers. That was it.
Wow.
And it wasn't overwhelming at the time because the people I worked with were so amazing. I've been blessed to always work with amazing people. So I didn't find that a challenge because it was a really learning and growing culture. I had a lot of support, and in turn, I supported them as well. When I then stepped out and went to another job, my next job was Career Junction, and thereafter Takealot. When I joined Takealot, that was slightly different because though I was happy and I felt supported, I had the most amazing leader at the time. And I felt completely supported, and I felt like I had a voice. I was never one to keep quiet. I would speak my mind respectfully and always say if I'm unhappy or something bothers me. But not everyone has that. So my leader at the time said to me, Huda, do you think the other females are happy? And I'm like, of course they're happy. I'm happy, right? So surely everyone else might be happy. And then I decided, okay, let me chat to the other ladies. There were about 10 females to 200 males at the time at Takealot.
Whoa, that's
And
5%.
yes, I spoke to the other girls then at the time, and I was dumbstruck. I couldn't believe that not everyone was happy, and not everyone felt that they had a voice. Some of the women felt that they had to speak really loud and jump through hoops. Some of them felt like they still had they were given the roles of like, you take the minutes in the meeting because you're the female, but we're all engineers. So there was a slight imbalance in like, yes, I'm happy and I'm supported and I'm free to be, but it wasn't like that in all other departments. And then we realized we need to start this group where we create awareness and bring everyone on board. Men, if or people, if they don't go through the challenges, then how can you be aware of it? So we had to start the awareness, and that's where the Women in Tech group started. And it started more of like, oh, let's support each other. How can we overcome this? How can we be heard? How can we grow? How can we become team leads? And it's evolved into much more now.
Fantastic, fantastic. Guys, students, if you have any questions at the moment, please put them in the chat. Don't hold back. You've got a golden opportunity here to ask away some questions. I've just got a couple more questions for Huda, and then I'll open up for you guys to ask your own questions. So, Huda, there's two things I'm interested in now. One is the mentorship program that you are running. I know last year we jointly did something at a couple of schools in Cape Town. Tell us more about that, and also, is there any opportunity for our students, for IT varsity students? I mean, they are all over the world, right? But mostly concentrated in South Africa. Is there an opportunity for them to get involved as volunteers in this mentorship program?
Okay, so the mentorship program we started at work was, firstly, we realized that there was a lot of churn. We were thinking, why are people leaving? What is happening that people are leaving all the time? Are they not happy? Are they not paid well? And it turns out a lot of people said that they, career growth and personal growth. But at Takealot, we are sitting with a wealth of really, really highly skilled people. So it's not like a normal company where you have like, okay, 4 senior engineers. Here we have 60, 80, 100 possibly. So we realized now we have to do something about this. We have to support the younger engineers in their career growth, but not just support them by saying, oh, I support you. Physically do something. So we developed this program where the seniors can take on a junior and guide them through their career path in the hope of retaining people, but also in the hope of getting in more people into the company, and especially females. So the program services the Takealot internally at the moment, but it's based on something called Project Thrive, which Offizen actually created. And Offizen has this mentorship program, and they do it globally. So there are programs like ours, but that are global. You can sign up as a mentee. Even the Women in Tech forum, if you go into Women in Tech SA, there is a link for mentorship where you can sign up as a mentee and they will assign you a mentor, also globally. So there are many programs like ours internal, although I would love for us to, become external. It's just it's a bit difficult being a database administrator and a coordinator for mentorship and a woman in tech. There's no time. It's kind of a full-time job being the mentorship coordinator. So I would love to, but for now, it's internal. However, there are opportunities for external.
Fantastic. That is excellent. So, guys, take note of that. Okay, one last question from me, which is now coming to your professional life. What is the day in the life of a database administrator like? What do you do?
Okay. At Takealot, one of my colleagues said the reason why Takealot is blue is because it's the deep end. Our logo is dark blue. It is extremely busy. There is never ever a dull moment at Takealot. However, it is an amazing company to work for. I love my colleagues. I love the freedom that we have to choose our technologies, the freedom that we have to explore. And implement things that we feel is beneficial. So the typical day in our life, there's never a day. It's actually day and night, because when things go wrong, you are on standby. But a typical day would be make sure that everything's running smoothly. So we have our dashboards. We use Grafana, and we check on all our hosts. There are so many hosts. We have quite a large number of databases. make sure everything's running smoothly, go through your Jira tickets, check what has come up. There are about 20 teams, and the 3 DBAs at Takealot, we service all the teams. So it's about 300 engineers, 3 DBAs. So you can imagine requests coming in from all teams. It can become a theory. So deciding what's the most important. Besides going through the tickets, there's always project work. Sometimes at the moment, I'm busy with a Postgres upgrade. So it's trying to do the upgrade, testing it. We have various environments. We have development, QA, and production. So then there's project work, and the upgrade is just one example. There's also a lot of learning. So besides the mentorship program coordinating that, there's also us sharing between ourselves. So the 3 DBAs meet every day. If there's a challenging task, we'll help each other out. Or if there's something that we've learned, we'll help each other out as well. So I think that's very important. Then we do deploys twice a week. At night, we don't want to do, there are certain tasks we cannot do during the day. So as a DBA, that's one of the things you kind of know you're going to do. There's going to be evening, work in the evening or early hours of the morning. So for us, it's a Tuesday and Thursday night where okay, everything that touches production that is slightly high risk, we'll do it on those evenings. And that's about it, I think.
Fantastic, fantastic. I always thought the life of a DBA was boring compared to the life of a software engineer. But that's our own prejudices and biases. Huda, thank you so much for so patiently answering my questions. Let's go to the chat. I see there are a few questions there. Ladies and gentlemen, guys, this is an opportunity. Please ask away. If those of you who want to work at Takealot, for example, this is your person to speak to, ask her how to get in. But let's see what Rumesa says. Assalamu alaikum, Huda. It's such a privilege to hear from you. Shukran for making the time to speak to us. Your perspective on women pursuing a career in tech is absolutely inspiring. My question is, how do you approach continuous learning and skill development in such a fast-paced industry? Brilliant question.
I think the industry forces you to approach continuous learning. If you don't, you wouldn't be here. So because it's such a fast-paced industry, you learn all the time. And it's sometimes not even conscious learning. You learn from a colleague who told you something about Google Cloud, or you learn from like the 3 DBAs spending time together each day. A difficult task comes up and you learn something that you didn't know yesterday. And then we have all these various Slack channels. We have principal engineers, and we have weekly meetups, like they call it How We Build Takealot. So they go into the belly of the beast, so to speak, how things work. And it's just so amazing how everyone's always willing to share their knowledge. We are in such a learning culture. It's just absolutely amazing. I don't have to go out and sign up for a course. I learn on the job every single day. Yeah, it's super important. You can't lag behind.
That is phenomenal, and that goes with my my personal attitude towards studies. I mean, we've been sort of programmed with this mindset that you're going to go from school to university, spend 3 or 4 years and get a degree and become an expert and then go and work. But most people don't realize that that degree is actually holding you back. In that 3 or 4 years that you could have learned so much on the job, like you say. And it was always my experience, right? It's still my experience when I interact with developers. You just learn so much just by doing, just by listening, just by observing, and you can never get that at a university. And that's why we believe that accelerate the learning in the course of 6 months to a year and push them out so that they get into the job and start learning there. That means a lot to me. Okay, so Irshad just reflected my own thoughts. 3 DBAs only must be very stressful, and lots of working after hours. I'm actually quite amazed. Only 3 DBAs at a huge company like Takealot. Zaid asks, do you think it's better? This is a very good question. Do you think it's better to go in depth in one field in IT, or better to branch out and not go as deep as you would in a single field? What do you say to that?
I say that's a very personal thing. For myself, I am happy that I specialized in databases. But if you don't want to, what do you want to be? Do you want to be an overall jack of all trades, or do you want to be a specialist? So decide, do you want to be a leader in the event that you want to be a leader? Then branch out, touch on a few different aspects so that you get a good understanding. And then you can lead people knowing, what everyone does. But if you want to be a specialist, then there's nothing wrong with choosing it. And if you realize 2 years later, oh, this is for me, it's okay. Do something else, then specialize in something else. It's like,
Sorry.
yeah, like you mentioned, the degree holding you back. Nothing. We hold ourselves back. There's nothing that stops you if you realize, you know what, this is not for me. Then try something else.
Which one does the market respond to better, specialists or generalists?
I think again, it's what the role determines. So when we were hiring for a DBA, in this case, you do need a specialist. But if you're hiring for a business analyst, does it matter, if he's a specialist or if he generally gets a good understanding? Or if you're hiring for a project manager in our space, then a generalist is great. So yeah, it entirely depends on the job.
I get you. That makes so much sense because a business analyst needs this, wide overarching view of the company and be able to understand business talk and tech talk and sort of translate between the two. You can't be a powerful software engineer, specialist software engineer, and expect to go and do business analysis because you won't be able to translate what's happening in the business world into the dev world and back and forth. Okay, so Mohammed Tahir Rahim says, where do we apply to work for Takealot? So what is the first step for somebody who wants to apply at Takealot?
The first step is on our homepage. At the bottom, there's a careers tab. Click on that tab and you'll see what's available in the different, there'll be different areas, possibly Superbalist, Mr. D, Joburg, Cape Town, Durban, although most of the jobs, especially in engineering, is fully remote. So we have quite a few people. We don't have a Durban office, but we have a few people from Durban working with us. The same for Johannesburg. We do not have a physical office, but we have so many people in Johannesburg and Pretoria. So that's the first step. Go to careers, the careers link, and don't let it put you off. If you see something that looks a bit daunting, apply anyway.
Yeah, because I mean, I noticed these HR agents, they basically they'll want a DBA, but they'll put pretty much everything they can think of, PHP and Java and JavaScript and and in anybody, I don't think there's a person in the world qualified for some of those jobs. But I like what you said. Apply even though you might be daunted by the descriptions. Keenan wants to know, what are the growth opportunities as a junior engineer at Takealot?
Oh, the opportunities are amazing. There's opportunity to grow into senior. So we have software engineer 1, 2, and 3, and thereafter senior software engineer, and thereafter principal engineer. If you don't want to do vertical, there's horizontal growth. If you decide, I'm not happy doing mobile app development, you can move to the machine learning team. If you've done 1 or 2 years in machine learning team, you know what, I've got this. I want to move to cybersecurity. You can move horizontally to another team. That's why the mentorship program is so valuable, because you can get yourself a mentor from that space. Find out, is this for me? Is it something I would like? Before you even delve into that horizontal shift. But we are really, for people growing and learning and retaining staff and trying to keep them happy.
I love it.
Lots of opportunities.
Yeah, and lots of opportunities, but it goes with a changed mindset. It's like, okay, I'm hearing this theme coming up repeatedly in what you're saying. I'm not happy with something, I will try something else. And that's the essence of being in technology. There's so many opportunities. You can keep exploring until you find something that you are truly comfortable with, and maybe grow your roots in that, or still choose to be a generalist. It's beautiful. I'm loving that. So it's all got to do with a change mindset. Oh, the questions are just coming and coming, Huda. I hope you got till about 5 o'clock this afternoon with us.
Sure, sure.
Okay. I know how busy you are. We'll try and wrap it up quickly. So Azra has a question. Could we apply for a job at Takealot with the certificate we will get at the end of the year after graduating? What do you recommend us studying further or getting some work experience? So as you're probably aware, they will get a certificate. Most of the students here are going to get a certificate in systems development. It's accredited from IT Varsity, and they are specializing in either Java or Python. So I guess Azra's question is around that. Can you get a job with this certificate? And I think most people need that kind of reassurance because there's that mindset of a university degree being necessary to get a job. What's your take on that, Huda?
I don't think a university degree is necessary anymore. I think 10, 15 years ago, that was the case. People were looking at only top universities as well and employing those people. But now we realize that you can sit at home and do an online course and be a better developer than the person who's got his degree. So at Takealot, for example, there's a test that one does. Once you apply, they do a hacker rank or technical test, and that shows the person's level of skill. It does not matter if he's got high school or degree or diploma. If he's capable, then the person, that's your chance in. So it's a difficult question. I mean, I can say yes, of course you can get a job, but there's also 500 other applicants. So how good are you? How good are you? How good is your skill? That will probably be heaven.
Absolutely. I'm glad you said that because I mean when you think about the world as it is today, I mean you've got brilliant developers who have zero qualifications, and some of them are not even 18 yet, and they are making waves. Some of the biggest companies were started by people without any qualifications, so that makes a lot of sense. Okay, on to Rumesa. Rumesa wants to know, as a successful woman in the industry, how do you balance assertiveness and collaboration in a mostly male-dominated tech environment? And what strategies have helped you to navigate this balance effectively? Oh, this is a deep one.
I think to answer that question, that's just part of my personality. I've never been one to keep quiet. I do not allow my colleagues to walk over me. I was in an interview once with two colleagues, and we were interviewing someone, and my one colleague mentioned, oh, when we introduced ourselves, he mentioned, oh, she's just here to take notes. And I'm the female, so I'm here to take notes. I did not let that slide. So even as a joke, we might joke as colleagues, but in front of others, we are equal as colleagues. I've always felt that, just because I'm a female doesn't mean anything. We are employed to do the same job and we're doing it. So I've always spoken my mind. I've always but I've always also been fortunate. My leaders have always allowed me that freedom. And I think if your work ethic has a lot to do with the amount of respect you gain in a field or within your circle. So they've always seen me being super hardworking, giving it my all, being available, more than necessary. And it's not because I was trying to prove myself, it's because I really, that's my work ethic. I want to do an amazing job. So because I think my work ethic has always been that there's an automatic respect. I don't have to command respect. I don't have to shout, or I don't have to anything. We have respect for each other within our team. And I've always been able to voice my opinions, and it's always been respected and well heard.
Phenomenal. You just show rather than tell. That's the most important thing. I just want to add something to Azra's question earlier about the certificate that you get at IT Varsity. Again, it might sound self-deprecation, but remember, even that certificate you're getting at IT Varsity there are thousands of other people that are getting the exact same certificate at institutes around the country. But that's why our focus at IT Varsity is on what we are doing right here, the mentorship, the practical, building up your skills, teaching you how to learn on your own, because almost never in your professional life is there going to be a situation where you have the luxury of returning to a classroom situation with the teacher in front of you. It's all self-learning. So I want you guys to think of that certificate as just a byproduct. The most important thing is the skills that you are building up while you are learning with us at IT Varsity, and also the networks that you are building. Okay, Jade has a bit of a long question. It's got a couple of likes also, so I think this is a popular question. We'll wrap up. There's about 2 more questions, and then we'll wrap up. So Jade says, thank you for your time today. I have some questions. As someone who is changing careers, I find it concerning the support gap for career changes. In your opinion, what is the success rate of a woman who is changing careers into tech? So that's question 1. The second one is it a requirement to have a degree to apply to a business like Takealot? Okay, I think we've already answered that. And thirdly, as someone in the industry, this is the last one is most important. As someone in the industry, is there a concern among your peers about the future of AI and possible loss of jobs? So I think to summarize this, there's 2 questions, right? Jade is in the process of shifting careers, and you did mention that you went through career shifts. So your advice to her will be really, really golden. And also AI, it's something that everybody is concerned about. What are your thoughts, Huda?
Okay, so regarding the career change, I think 100%. The success rate I've seen from colleagues and from myself, 100% success. If you don't change careers, what is your option? You're going to stay in a miserable place and not be happy. And is that success? So change the careers and you will find success. It might not be the first job or the second job, it could be your third or fourth one after, but there will definitely be success. I have a colleague who started as a teacher. She then became a flight attendant. While she was a flight attendant, she studied an MBA. She became a project manager. She's now a business analyst at Takealot. She's undergone
Fantastic.
4 completely different career changes. And she's happy, she's successful. She put effort into each and every one that she did, and she thought about it. Is this for me? Am I happy? And if she wasn't, she would change. That's one of many that have done that. So I think the success rate is what you make of it. You can make it happen, Jade. Then regarding AI, we are not afraid that AI will take our jobs. If it does, then learn AI and and change jobs to become more in the AI field. But however, no, we're really not worried. We are embracing AI. We are using it to enhance. We use it within Takealot. We've got our own little, not ChatGPT, some little AI thing that we use, and we are loving it. I don't think it's going to take over the world, but it's definitely going to enhance and make our lives easier. Thank you.
I'm loving your very frank answer about the AI, because most of the doomsday agents are outsiders to the industry. That's the irony. But the people inside know better that this is nothing to be concerned about. Thanks so much for that. Okay, Huda, there's still a lot of questions, right? And I don't wanna hold you up, but is there an opportunity for my students to remain in contact with you, to ask you any questions? Are you, if you're at all comfortable with it, maybe if you can share an email address that they can contact you on. Can we share something like that with them? I know it's a lot to ask.
No, it's not asking a lot at all. I absolutely love it when people reach out. I might not be able to give you an answer, but I can definitely guide you in a direction. I'm typing my email address in the chat, and please feel free to use it or contact me on LinkedIn. And that's one thing that I think is it's really so valuable. A lot of people ask, how can I get a job? How can I? And they, like you said, they try one thing and then they sit back. You cannot try one thing and sit back. Reach out to anyone. I've had complete strangers message me on LinkedIn. We noticed your profile. Can you help me? Can you guide me? I've set up calls with them, and you never know. I can reach out to my network and then say to them, there's this woman, she's proactive. She shows that she wants a job. She really is learning. Someone will help her along the way. And if not, she stands out in my mind. If I need someone, I'll be thinking back on her. She reached out to me and she made the effort. So yeah, please use the email address. I'd love to help in any way that I can.
Fantastic. That is so awesome. Thank you so much for that, Huda. We really, really appreciate that. I appreciate it on behalf of my students. Guys, you've got one of the database administrators of Takealot on your contact list now, thanks to Huda's being here. So that's worth a lot of money. Okay, so let's, Huda, do you have a few more minutes or?
Yeah, I do.
Okay,
Yeah.
let's go to some of the other questions. Um, so Azra wants to know, how do we make our CV or make ourselves stand out compared to others that would be applying for a job? What do people look for when hiring? Good question.
Okay. Well, what we look for is a concise resume. We don't really need to know all the subjects you studied in matric and what we look out for. So if you have your diploma or certificate, what are the subjects that you've done? What are your skills that you feel comfortable with? Give us a matrix. I'm comfortable with Python on a scale of 1 to 5, 3 or 5. So we look out for, okay, what are their skills? And definitely, what are they still learning? So you've got a certificate, but now what? Are you interested in learning? If you're interested in learning AI, put that in your cover letter or put that in, I'm enrolled on a course. There are so many free courses. If you're going to do something after your IT varsity certificate, include that in your resume. If we see someone is interested and eager to learn, that person stands a better chance immediately. It is also nice to have a concise, neat resume and with a picture. Not, it doesn't have to be, but it is nice. It's a more personal thing. If I'm flopping through resumes and I see this person, I already feel like I have a connection now because I can see this person. So I can even give you a sample of my resume if you wish. I can share that with you, just to get an idea of layout and what presents well. Some people
Fantastic.
have 5 pages on their resume, and that's too much.
That's too much. And there's one other thing that we strongly emphasize with our students is to build up a portfolio website and to put the link into their
That's
resumes.
amazing. Yeah,
The website actually showcases all the solutions that they built while studying
that's
at
yeah,
university.
that's
Oh,
amazing.
fantastic. So guys, you see that portfolio website is
Mhm.
crucially important. There's a comment here, not a question from Irshad. He concurs with what you are saying, Huda. He says, it's essential to explore various fields to discover one's preference. I initially embarked on a career as a support engineer, but found it wasn't the right fit for me. Currently, I'm engaged as a SQL developer. However, I am now undertaking a full stack course with IT Varsity to determine if this avenue aligns better with my interests and aspirations. Well done to you, Irshad. Keep growing, keep learning, keep exploring. That's the way to success. Uh, Azra wants to know, how do we prepare for that test? Oh, the Takealot test. Okay, I think that's a very specific question. So Azra, if you don't mind, drop Huda an email. Keenan says, as a group of people who are still fresh in the industry, what are the challenges we might encounter and how do you suggest we overcome these challenges? So I'm guessing Keenan means challenges relating to getting your first job. What do you say to that, Huda?
That will definitely that's a real challenge. You'd be very lucky if you applied for a job and got the first one that you applied for. So that is going to be a challenge because it's you and 300 or 400 other people applying from all over the world. Most IT jobs are remote these days. So that is a challenge. However, do not stop learning. While you are applying for jobs, don't wait, don't sit and wait for something to happen. Um, learn something along the way. And it doesn't even matter what it is you are learning. I feel that no education is wasted. If you're learning something that's on a total different spectrum, but it's got to do with personal growth or self-improvement or work-life balance, really, all of that is beneficial. So don't give up. When you apply and apply and apply, don't lose hope. You will find something, especially if you show perseverance. If you apply to the same company, find someone at the company, ask them about the jobs, tell them you're applying, kind of get your network going. And the people will remember you. When the next job comes up, they'll remember, hey, Keenan was the one who keeps messaging me. He's the one who always says, oh, I'm still looking for a job. Is there anything out there? They will remember you.
Fantastic,
So hang
fantastic.
in there.
And some of our students are in the habit, we actually encourage it, but I see a few have taken it on where they share their progress while learning on
Yeah,
social media. Some of them actually make videos of their progress. Wouldn't that boost their chances of networking with her?
I think so. I think it's great to, if they don't know you out there, they won't know you out there. So make yourself known, put yourself out there and celebrate the progress. And if someone else has shown that they've done a course, celebrate their progress and their wins. And yeah, people must start becoming, oh, I know this guy. He comments on all on all the posts, on all the jobs, and he applied. So yeah, I think it will be great.
Fantastic. So I think if I have to sum up, I mean, there's a couple of comments here. Rumesa says, Shukran for making the time. It was amazing to hear from you and pick your brain. So inspiring and thought-provoking. I agree 100%. Azra has more questions. Or any other companies. Okay, Azra, I think you need to maybe drop Huda a more coherent email so that she can give you a more complete answer. But Huda, I think that's it. That's all the questions for now, because I guarantee you there'll be lots of emails coming to you. If I have to sum up everything that you've told us today, it's all about not placing limits on yourself, aspiring, aiming to be higher, to do more. The other thing is continuous learning. The other thing is change, to be happy and willing to embrace change. And finally, just hard work and perseverance, just put in the effort. I mean, uh, don't send your CV to 5 people and expect to get a job, or 10 people or 100 people. Just keep doing it and keep networking, keep top of mind. Just keep on the top of mind of people. If you send your CV to somebody, follow up after a week or two and follow up again and follow up. So you're always, top of mind, and make a noise about who you are and what you do, because people are not going to miraculously come and find you. You need to make a noise. You need to show the whole world, I'm here and this is what I do. And that's what will get you into your dream job. Huda, once again, thank you so much. I really appreciate this. I really appreciate, I know how busy you are, one of 3 DBAs in the whole of Takealot, and yet here you are taking out your time and advising us. We really, really, really appreciate it. And I just want you to leave us with maybe 2 minutes worth of advice for my students, and then we'll stop there.
Okay. Well, thank you again also for having me. I really didn't think I was that inspiring until I read my own bio. I was like, do I do that? Yeah. So my word of advice is never stop learning. And again, I said it doesn't matter what you learn. I've done all kinds of things. I've done a flower arranging course. I've stopped work and I've done catering. I've, you know, I have 3 kids. In the space of me being a DBA, I've raised 3 sons on my own as a single mom. So it's hard, but it's so rewarding to keep learning. That is the one thing. I mean, no one can take it away from you. No one can take away what you've learned, and you will find a place in your life where you can use it. So if you
Mm.
feel 2 years down the line, oh my God, I studied IT and now I'm going to become a mom, and embrace that. embrace what is happening in your life. And when it's time for a change, you know how to make that change. You learn. You cannot go wrong with continuous learning. That would be my advice to everyone.
Phenomenal. I didn't know you were a single mom, and now my respect for you has just multiplied by 10,000, because I can only imagine how challenging that might be. And three boys. I've got three sons, and hasn't been easy.
Yeah. I think their sole purpose in life is to test me, but that's okay. They might become QA testers actually. So
Okay. Stress testers.
yeah.
Fantastic. Okay, Huda, once again, thank you so much for your time. We really, really appreciate it. We hope we wish you all the best in your career, and with your kids. And once again, thank you so much. And you'll be sure to hear from many of my students, guys. If anything, drop Huda an email just thanking her for her time. This has been a golden opportunity. Once again, thank you so much. And students, thanks for being here. And I'm looking forward to the next session of our webinar. Thanks a lot, guys. Bye-bye.
Bye.